Welcome to the Deep Dive, your shortcut to mastering complex ideas. Today, we're getting right into human relations and influence. We're looking at a classic text that really, well, it pioneered the whole field of soft skills.
That's right. And our mission here is to pull out the techniques that still work today, the ones derived from what the author called a laboratory of human relationships. This was an academic theory.
No, it grew. That's the key part, isn't it? It started back in 1912 teaching public speaking, but the person behind it realized pretty quickly that just speaking well wasn't, enough.
Adults needed much more. They needed real skills in the fine art of getting along with people, practical stuff.
Right, so they took these ideas and actually tested them on thousands of real adults in the real world.
Exactly. And to sharpen these principles, they interviewed, well, huge figures, people like FDR, Owen DeYoung, Charles Schwab, Edison, Marconi.
So they were really reverse engineering what worked for the most successful people around.
Precisely. They weren't just guessing. They were looking at what actually got results.
And the goal, it feels really relevant even now. The author wanted to help you, the listener, discover and use what Professor William James called your dormant and unused assets.
The idea that we're all living below our potential.
Yeah. And if mastering these simple interactions can unlock that potential, well, we need to know how.
Okay, so let's get to the absolute foundation. Psychologists like Freud, philosophers like John Dewey, they kind of converged on one thing. This deep, almost overwhelming driver for humans.
What is it?
The desire to be important, or sometimes called the desire to be great.
It sounds almost too simple. But when you think about it,
It explains so much. It's what separates us from animals, right? The book uses that example of the farmer and his prize hogs.
the blue ribbon, yeah.
The hogs couldn't care less about the ribbon, but the farmer. It means everything: status, achievement, importance.
And that desire, that's what fuels ambition, like Lincoln.
Exactly. What drives someone like Lincoln, with basically no formal education, to pore over law books he found in a barrel? It wasn't just about a job. It was about becoming someone significant.
And you see the flip side, too, the insecurity around it, even in powerful people. George Washington wanting to be called His Mightiness?
Right. Or Catherine the Great refusing letters not addressed to Her Imperial Majesty. That need for validation, it's universal.
Wow, it really runs deep.
Deeper than you might think. The source mentions a psychiatrist who suggested some people literally go insane to find that feeling of importance in, a fantasy world.
That's intense.
Think about becoming an invalid for years, just to be waited on, just for that attention. It highlights how hungry people are for recognition.
So the big takeaway here is, if people crave importance that much, imagine what you can achieve just by giving honest appreciation, genuine recognition.
It's powerful stuff.
Okay, now let's flip it. What's the fastest way to wreck that influence?
Criticism. The sources are absolutely clear on this. It's futile and it's dangerous.
Why dangerous?
Because it puts people immediately on the defensive. It wounds their precious pride, as the text puts it. And that creates resentment that can last for decades.
And the crazy thing is, people rarely see themselves as wrong, right?
99 times out of 100, no. They justify everything. Think about the examples in the book, like Al Capone.
Yeah, he didn't see himself as a villain.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Or Two-Gun Crowley, the cop killer. His last note said he had a kind heart underneath it all.
Wow. If even they can rationalize like that, what chance do you have arguing with someone over, say, a work mistake?
Exactly. And, the science supports this too. B.F. Skinner's research showed rewards work way better than punishment for changing behavior. Punishment just builds resistance.
You see that in the workplace example, the safety guy, Johnston.
Oh, right. He criticized employees about hard hats. They'd wear them when he watched.
And take them right off when he left?
Yep. Sullen compliance, not real change. Criticism bred defiance.
But the ultimate example of not criticizing has to be Lincoln after Gettysburg.
Yes. General Meade let Lee's army escape. Lincoln was furious, absolutely livid. He wrote this scathing letter.
Accusing Meade of losing the chance to end the war right there.
But he never sent it.
He just kept it.
Realized it was pointless. Blaming Meade wouldn't change anything. It would just make Meade defensive, maybe even hostile. Lincoln knew criticism comes back to you like homing pigeons.
That takes incredible restraint.
It does. And look at the story of Bob Hoover, the test pilot.
Oh, the plane incident, where the mechanic put the wrong fuel in, jet fuel in a propeller plane.
Ruined an expensive aircraft. The mechanic was devastated, crying, Sure, he'd be fired on the spot.
And Hoover, instead of blasting him.
He puts his arm around the guy, says something like, "To show you I know you'll never do this again, I want you to service my F-51 tomorrow."
Wow, talk about turning it around. He didn't just forgive, he rebuilt the guy's confidence instantly.
Replace blame with trust. Powerful.
Okay, so that leads us right into the positive stuff. Avoiding criticism is step one. But how do you actively influence? Principle one seems to be start with praise.
Praise and honest appreciation. It's the dentist with Novocaine idea.
There you go.
You give the appreciation first, the Novocaine, to numb the area before you do any drilling or correction.
All right.
Makes it way less painful.
So if someone knows you value them, they're more open to feedback.
Much more. Like that bank manager, Dorothy Wroblewski, with her teller trainee.
The one who was fast and friendly but couldn't balance her drawer.
Right. Instead of just hammering the balancing issue, Dorothy praised the speed, the customer service first. Then they reviewed the procedure.
And the problem cleared up.
Quickly. Because the trainee felt valued, not attacked.
Charles Schwab did this too, didn't he? With the smoking sign.
Saw a guy smoking under a no smoking sign. Didn't yell. Walked over, handed them cigars.
Cigars? Really?
Yeah. And said something like, "Appreciate it if you boys smoke these outside." He complimented them with the gift, made them feel important by asking for cooperation. Genius.
Okay, so that connects to the next big principle. Be genuinely interested in other people. Sounds basic, but
Most of us are pretty bad at it. The book makes that great point. You'll make more friends in 2 months by actually being interested in others than in 2 years trying to get them interested in you. Like a dog, you know.
like your dog Tippy, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Pure, unadulterated interest.
It means setting your own agenda aside sometimes. Think of Teddy Roosevelt.
Greeting the White House staff by name.
Every single one. Down to the scullery maids. Asking about specific things like Alice's cornbread. That personal touch is magnetic.
I love that story about the author trying to interview the bank president.
Oh yeah, it was going nowhere. It's just corporate speak.
Until the author remembered the president's son collected stamps.
Right. Dropped the business talk, brought in some stamps, talked about the kid's hobby, and suddenly...
The president opens up, gives him everything he needed, all because the author showed genuine interest in something he cared about.
And a key part of showing interest is using someone's name. It's music to their ears, right? Makes them feel unique.
Like Sid Levy and the customer Nicodemus Papadoulos.
Calling him by his full, unique name instead of just Nick moved the guy to tears. It acknowledges their individuality.
Andrew Carnegie weaponized this, didn't he? For the Pullman merger.
Huh? Well, strategically used it. He proposed naming the new company the Pullman Palace Car Company.
Flattering Pullman by putting his name front and center.
Exactly. Pullman loved the idea of that legacy. Deal done.
It's amazing how simple things work, like just remembering a name.
Or just listening. Really listening. That's maybe the highest form of flattery.
The botanist story.
Right. The author knew zero about plants, but listened intently for hours while this botanist talked.
And the botanist later called the author a most interesting conversationalist.
Even though the author barely said a word. Because deep, focused listening makes the speaker feel incredibly validated and important.
Okay, let's shift gears slightly. How do you change minds or behavior without causing friction? The path of least resistance.
First rule, avoid direct contradiction. Just don't argue. It's almost always pointless. Like the old saying, a man convinced against his will
Is of the same opinion still.
Right. And statistically, why argue? The source mentions even brilliant people are probably only right about 55% of the time. So why go around telling everyone else they're definitely wrong? You're likely wrong almost half the time yourself.
Ben Franklin had a method for this, didn't he?
Yeah, he trained himself out of using definitive words, no more certainly or undoubtedly.
Instead, he used softer phrases.
Like I conceive, or it appears to me, or I imagine it to be so-and-so for such and such reasons. It made him hugely influential, even though he wasn't naturally a great speaker. It's about softening the approach.
Managing the ego, like that tax consultant Parsons.
Oh yeah, battling the inspector over $9,000, getting absolutely nowhere.
Until he switched tactics.
Started complimenting the inspector, saying how tough his job was, apologizing for the hassle. The whole dynamic changed.
And the inspector approved the return.
Just as it was filed. Because Parsons dropped the confrontation and used a little empathy, a little honey.
Which brings us to that drop of honey idea.
Yeah.
Gentleness beats force.
Always. Remember the fable of the sun and the wind trying to get the man's coat off? The wind blew furiously. The man just clutched tighter.
But the sun shone warmly.
And the man took his coat off willingly. Friendliness and warmth work. like that tenant facing a rent hike.
Instead of complaining, he praised the manager and the building first.
Enthusiastically,
Mhm.
before even mentioning the money issue. And the manager offered a reduction without even being asked. Disarmed him completely.
Another technique is appealing to nobler motives.
Right. Most people want to be seen as fair, honest, decent. Give them a chance to live up to that reputation.
Like Lord Northcliffe asking the editor not to publish a photo.
He didn't threaten. He appealed to the editor's respect for motherhood, saying, "My mother wouldn't like it." It worked.
Or the landlord appealing to a difficult tenant's sense of honor about the lease he signed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Frame it around their integrity, not just your demands.
Okay, and the final big one. The power of a challenge.
Schwab's secret weapon again, appealing to that innate desire to excel, to compete, to win.
His mill wasn't performing well.
So instead of yelling at the foreman, he just walks onto the mill floor at the end of the day shift, grabs some chalk.
And writes the shift's production number on the floor. That's it.
That's it. The night shift comes in, sees the number, asks what it means. The day shift guys tell them, challenge accepted.
So the night shift erased it and wrote a higher number.
Yep. And the next day, the day shift saw that number and went all out to beat it. That friendly competition boosted production dramatically. It taps into our competitive spirit.
And it works for individuals, too, like Governor Al Smith recruiting the warden for Sing Sing.
Lewis Laws. The prison was notorious, dangerous. Laws was hesitant. Smith didn't order him.
He challenged him.
Said something like, "It'll take a big person to go up there and stay." Appealed to his ambition, his character. Laws took the job and became legendary.
So when we pull back and look at all of this, Lincoln not sending the letter, Schwab using chalk, Hoover trusting the mechanic, what's the common thread?
It really boils down to two core things, I think. First, managing your own reactions. Controlling that impulse to criticize or argue.
And second,
Consistently trying to see things from the other person's perspective. Always appealing to their desire for importance, their ego, in a positive way.
like Mr. Douglas and his wife's weeding.
Right. He stopped criticizing, started helping and complimenting her effort. And their whole relationship shifted. It's about validating the other person.
And the ultimate payoff isn't just influencing others, is it? The source talks about Dale Carnegie helping people conquer their fears and develop courage.
Exactly. Learning to relate to others positively builds your own confidence profoundly. It's a feedback loop.
So the final thought for you, the listener. If those relatively simple techniques, focusing on others' importance, avoiding blame, showing genuine interest, can create such huge changes. Think about that boy, David Jones, labeled brain damaged, called Frankenstein.
Who ended up on the honor roll just because someone finally gave him encouragement and confidence.
What dormant assets, what untapped potential might you unlock if you consciously decided to apply just one of these principles consistently starting tomorrow?
The real learning isn't just hearing this stuff. It's the review, the practice, making it a habit. That's where the work starts now.